How to become the number one wholesaler in your market. What is up, guys? Zach Ginn here.
Rick Ginn here.
And in today's live stream, we're going to be talking about how you can be the top alpha dog in wholesaling real estate. And more importantly, how you can become the number one wholesaler in your market. Now, it's quite a big title to have. I don't care if you're wholesaling in Richmond, Virginia. I don't care if it's in Chicago. I don't care if it's in Las Vegas or something like that. You can be easily the largest wholesaler by following these specific things. Now, not everyone wants to be the biggest, baddest wholesaler. I mean, you can make $5-6 million a year and still not even be top 5 in most markets. But still, there's lots of money to be made. And this is not a video of, oh, this is how you make your first 50 grand. This is how you make your first 100. Like, we already have plenty of videos like that. You guys already know, like, how to get your first couple deals. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about, like, you're really looking to dominate. This is what we're going to be talking about today. Real wholesaling market domination for success. And so we're going to talk about how to become the best wholesaler in your own market. I mean, we're the best in our market, and we'll show you how to do it the right way. Now, if you want to virtually wholesale, you can dominate in that market. I mean, I know some guys that they virtually wholesale and they're the best in their market, and they don't even live there. And that's pretty dang cool too. So we're going to break this all down today and show you how to do it. But guys, do me a favor. Make sure you go out here and smash the like button, subscribe, and please let me know, where's everybody coming from today. I'd love to know where everyone is out of, and we could see kind of where everyone's looking to dominate, right? I think it's always cool to go do that and see what's going on. So let's see where everyone's coming from here. We got Dominican, okay. Oh, wait, domination. Domination. Domination all day. Maryland. We got Jersey. We got Savannah, Dallas, North Carolina, Connecticut, Louisville,
Jersey,
Florida, Houston, Tampa, Florida again, Tennessee.
Richmond.
Love to see it. Richmond, Austin. So a lot of people from a lot of different places. So I'm pretty excited about that and see how it goes. So definitely a lot of people on here, and keep it up. So all right, so let's talk about how to dominate in wholesaling, right? So a lot of people get really confused about, how to become successful, how not. Like what? So let's talk about it. How to become the number one wholesaler in your market. What I've always found, and collectively is right, the big dogs in wholesaling, always you really have two things. And I know a lot of big dogs, like a lot of Great Danes out here in wholesaling. A lot of people that they completely dominate in their market. No one's even doing the numbers that they are doing, right? Now, first and foremost, what do we call the number one? Number one by deal volume or number one by revenue or like profit? Because it really depends, right? Because each one's slightly different, right?
Well, to me, net is the most important, but you're not the big dog by the number of deals you do. Because you're just busy. So if I did one deal made 100 grand and you did 25 that made 120 and you spent 50 grand in marketing, like that's the problem. You got to sort through it. So I find when people lead with how many deals I've done, it's kind of a manipulation. Don't get me wrong. We got to get you started on your first deal, get you up to 5. But like when you start looking at all like what you consider the big players, and like they always seem to have a standard number. And I tell you, wholesaling doesn't work that way. One day you'll do 10 or 15 one month, and then another month you'll do like a couple. That's just the reality. So you can look at averages, but when it gets down to it, if someone ever say, hey, listen, I made X amount, I did this. Say, listen, what was your net? How much did you spend on marketing and what did you actually make? And if there's not a definitive answer, understanding like, you can spend a ton of money on marketing. It doesn't mean you're going to make money. And so the ways we teach you to get started is for you to master marketing, because if you understand it, you won't be taking advantage of all these PPC, PPL companies, all these done for it. Because remember, whoever derives the lead makes the most money and they're in the most control. So if you give up that position when you start in wholesaling, it's a challenge. If you learn it from the beginning, when you become more advanced, you go, I'm not paying you $50,000 to run this PPL campaign because I need leads in this state, this city, this county, and you understand the difference. And most of these companies take advantage of it. So the sooner you master marketing, the better off. So I always look at the true measure of how someone does in wholesaling is like, what is your net? Because I've seen people, actually wholesalers, spend more money on marketing than they actually earn, like, net.
Oh yeah.
And so that's the deceiving part. I could drop 100 grand and show you 50 deals overnight. It doesn't mean I made any money.
Mhm.
So remember, if you understand and master marketing, you can do anything in wholesaling. So always remember that. It's the net's the true measure. But honestly, I think you're a superhero if you made 100 grand on one deal, as opposed to the guy who did 20 deals and made 3 grand. Just, does it always work that way? Obviously not. So just make sure you're measuring apples to apples when it comes to it.
I mean, the equation for wholesaling is what's your average profit per deal versus how many deals you do.
Mhm.
Simple, right? So again, the guy that's doing 20 deals, 5K a pop, is going to make the same as a guy doing 100K a pop, right? Now, the best wholesalers I always found are just wholesaling by themselves, not completely by themselves, but like they have their core wholesaling business, right? Where they're hitting $25,000, $30,000 assignment fees,
Mhm.
and that's all they're doing. And they're doing that at scale, right? Not the little 2,000 or 3,000 ones at scale. There's different type of wholesalers, and it's mostly guys trying to wholesale in the hood or on the wrong marketing channels, something like that, right? So let's talk about the big dogs in wholesaling, the top guys and gals, right? Number one, clearly you're going to see is they are just doing more volume than you. Just being straight up with you. They are just pushing way more volume than you are doing. Now, could that mean, usually what this means is just frankly spending more money than you. That is the quickest one. So if you have no money and a guy is making, 600 grand a month, the biggest difference, if you could just show it on paper, is, well, this person has 6 cold callers and they're calling and they're sending 6,000 texts a day and you're doing 50 texts a day. Like, the reason this person's beating right now is because of volume. That is clearly by far the number one thing. But you got to remember this too. There are people in my market that call more than me. They text more than me. They send way more direct mail than me, but they still make less than me, right? And there's always a push and a pull, right? Now, every single one's different, but the one thing that we really beat our competition with is a couple things. We'll talk about it, but another big one is we just make more money per deal than the average person, like by far. And so this is why you could really start pushing volume really well. And so this is why, like Mercedes is going to make more money than Ford, even though Ford sells more cars. It don't matter, because if you're selling cars for $60,000,
Mhm.
it's crazy to me, right? And so, maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe I got to look at the numbers, right? But most of those luxury companies will make more money than a regular store because of that, right? And so what you got to know too is, if you can just, have to be, I always tell people, Zach, like, how do I make more money in my business? I'm making $1 million. How do I go from 1 million to 2 million? And everyone assumes that, okay, well, I just got to double the amount of calls I'm making, right? So if I have my team, they're calling 200 hours a week, I just got to do 400 hours. And I always say, no, that's not the easiest. That is a way. That's not the easiest way.
It's a theory.
Just go from making 15 grand a deal to $30,000 a deal.
Yeah. A lot of people think, and I made this mistake early on, is you can't just double like your marketing and expect to
Nope.
like double your income. There's a lot of problems that come with it that a lot of you guys can't even see. So we always teach, number one, we teach you with the most motivated list. Why? Because if you don't get a deal, you're not going to survive in wholesaling. And then once you understand that master marketing, and say you want to spend some money on marketing, maybe it's direct mail, whatever it is, PPC, PPL. I'm not getting into details on it, but I used to go, okay, well, if I spend 5 grand on direct mail, I'll just spend 10 and I'll double my business. Huge wake up call. You have to ramp it up, because you get exponential amount of more leads. Sometimes you actually get less, and you just start like filling your pipeline. And the problem is you have to learn from the data. So if we do a direct mail or you do PPC or anything like that, is you see how many leads you got from it, how many you were able to convert, and you learn. And that learning is part of the process of wholesaling, and you tweak your process. You either get more help, you get better data, you dial it in and get better. And then as you get the feedback, you can adjust your marketing plan, and then you slowly ramp it up. So say if you're spending 3 grand, you go, I want to go to 6, go from 3, go to 4, go to 5, and see how that process works. And you can easily in this business actually outspend yourself on leads. What does that mean? It means I doubled my lead volume and now I'm not really getting back to people quickly. I'm taking more time and I'm taking stuff for granted. Very, very expensive lesson. So work your way up and learn from the data when it comes back, because it doesn't matter what type of campaign you do, direct mail, cold call, texting, an email campaign. Look at the feedback, and every market's different and you have to adjust. If you just blindly double it, it's going to be expensive and you're going to go back and you might even quit. And I don't want you to do that. So grow responsibly and learn from the data. Every market has a different feedback. And if you're doing it local and you're going to virtual, you really got to pay attention and learn, because as soon as you think you got it figured out, there'll be some sort of change or anything like that. So pay attention to your marketing. Don't just double it. It doesn't work that way. And actually that goes for most businesses, because there's problems that come with it. Mm-hmm. And if you can't get the customers fast enough and solve their problems, you're just throwing money out the window, and we don't want you to do that.
I agree. So it's better if you just want to do, like, just get lower offers. It's another easy way to make more money. But number one, okay, the big dogs have volume. And number two, and this is very controversial, people get upset at me. When I talk about the big dogs, I'm talking about people that are the top dogs in their market. I'm not talking about you. If you're making, I'm not even talking about you if you're making $1 million a year net in wholesaling, okay? Because you can do it all by yourself. But I am telling you, they have more volume than everybody else. And this is a universal fact. They don't market, close, or dispo themselves. That might be offensive, but that is the absolute truth. The top wholesalers, the ones that are the best in their market, they don't market, close, or dispo themselves. They leverage other people.
You can't do it all by yourself to do volume. So it's
a human being.
I did it for 7 years, guys. There's a limit. And don't get me wrong, most of you are getting up and going your journey, and that's fine. But the idea is, some point, turn it over to where you can actually run a business to have people help you out. You don't need 15, 20 employees to do it. You can actually just have a few key employees to do it. But like, keep in mind, like, it wears on you after a while. But I love quarterbacking, running it, and getting involved in complex deals. But at some point, you have to get help.
So what I've always found was, actually, I've done a lot of experimenting in my days with how much I should work, right? And I've grinded. You too. The number that I've always found that was my absolute tipping point, the most work I could possibly do in a week. How much do you think that is for me?
I don't know.
I was crazy, like 1920. It was 105. That's roughly 15 hours a day for 7 days.
Yeah.
That was the most I possibly could work without mentally losing myself. Because then you get less sleep, and then you get less sleep, you can't really close as well.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say that's not true. It is true. So for example, I have some buddies that they moved to Vietnam and Japan and Dubai and all these places, right? And what they do is they do like online, like SMMA stuff. My one buddy, he went to Japan for a month, and he had to do his meetings at like 2 a.m. with clients.
Good Lord.
And his income went down 15%. He's like, why is my closing rate so bad? Because he had to get up at 2 a.m. or 4 a.m. to go close the person and go back to sleep. He wasn't as sharp and good. And that's the one thing about, I love the United States, but like when you want to move to everywhere and you want to start trying to close people at 4 a.m. in the morning, it's rough.
Time difference is real.
And so 105 hours is the most. Now, that means that there's just so many hours I can do. I can't go on appointments, call at the same time, and do it all, right? And if you look at it, if I have 3 cold callers, cold calling 40 hours a week, that is 120.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing way more than I physically possibly can even do. It's the truth.
Yeah.
So we look at Steve Jobs, right? Before he passed away, right? Steve Jobs wasn't going out here and making the iPhones by himself. He physically couldn't make 1 million iPhones. He couldn't make 1 billion, right?
Yep.
He can't do it. It don't work like that. All right. And so that's the thing that I always like looking at history, right? And it's like, you look at the greatest, people we all know about, right? I think everyone knows about Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar didn't go and fight everyone by himself. He had armies and generals and things like that. And that's how you win wars. But the thing about it is, we always tell ourselves that we want to go out here and do it all ourselves. And that's great starting out. But once you get over 100 grand, you want to start having other people, because once you start delegating and hiring other people in your business, it turns into a business, right?
Mhm.
And a business works with other people and you don't have to be in it all the time. And so the top ones don't do this. And so just having an understanding that to become a top wholesaler, you must master delegation. Now, I'm not saying you're not in the business anymore, right? Because I'm still in the business today, just a lot less than I used to be, right? So I'm looking at deals and I'm just telling people what to do, but I kind of step on people's toes if I'm too much in the, actually, the fun part about it is me and you, right? We make less money the more we're in the business, because when we start telling, people what to do or micromanaging, they actually become less efficient.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
it's you remember as a wholesaler in the beginning, like you probably got in this business to kind of take control of your life. And wholesalers have a problem because you get so ingrained in it. And it is a challenging business. It is not for the faint of heart. One of the hardest things is to step back from doing like everything, because now you have to delegate and trust someone to do something. And it's hard. It's a lot like having children. If you haven't had kids yet, you'll understand is they're going to fall down. They're going to make mistakes. You're going to have deals that actually just fall apart. And you're going to go, man, I could have fixed that. But the problem is you could have fixed one deal, but how are you going to do 10 by yourself, like in a given week? And that's the challenge is you're going to have to take a little bit step backwards to go forwards. Every business has to go through it. I'm a living, I did for 7 years. Like I didn't know how to get out of my own way. I just didn't want to give up control. But like I had so many leads, so much going on. And I had to figure out how to delegate and how to work with people. And that was an entire process. Now, I know we focus mostly on getting you started in wholesaling, but I want to give you hope. There is hope that like you can actually get out of it so you don't have to meet with every seller, every buyer. And as I said, I did it for 7 years. You shouldn't wait that long. Some people can do it in as soon as year 2. Very rarely year 1, but that's just the facts of it. So if you're a little bit burnt out talking to people and stuff like that, just understanding if you walk a mile in the acquisitions, in the marketing shoes, and the Dispo shoes, then you can teach other people. And this experience you're getting is extremely valuable, and it's going to come back and help you when you try to grow your business like that. But once again, just like when you start wholesaling, it is uncomfortable when you have to give up control.
Oh, yeah.
Just like when you started in wholesaling, and most entrepreneurs don't want to let go. And that's a big mistake. I learned it the hard way. I stayed 5 years in the hole too long, but I believe God had a lesson for me to help take my experience and share it with you guys, because I've spent a lot of time doing exactly what you guys do every day. And I'm still involved in it. I've watched the changes in wholesaling. Obviously, I've been involved with my son with it. And that's why I truly love this business and we give back here.
It's what this business is all about. But the thing about it is you have to master delegation, but you just start delegating and you start making real money, because that's when you start making more money. Now, there's another end of this where you go hire a VA without even doing a dang deal. That's not the right thing to do either.
It's usually a nightmare.
It's a mix of both. Now, the thing about wholesaling, now, not a lot of people talk about this either, but when it talks about being a top dog in your market, right, you have to understand the law of diminishing returns. So, for example, a lot of people really don't understand this concept and how it works. Now, I tell people this all day. Now, we'll use PPL for an example because it's the easiest one for me to explain this process. Somebody goes and tells me, "Oh my gosh, Zach, if I spend $1,000, I can get a $20,000 deal on PPL." I said, "Really?" I said, "Okay, I'm going to give you $700,000 right now. Can you turn that into $7 million this month?" Because if you can get 10x your investment, let me just get a couple bank accounts, right? Here's $1 million bucks. Turn that into 10 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. It's like, I see these TikToks sometimes of people like, business guys like, you know what I do? I get $1,000, go turn it into 2,000 in a month. I'm like, okay, well, here's $10 million. Go turn that into 100 million.
Yeah.
Because if it was that easy, you'd go do it. Now, I'm also gonna, make fun of you, right? It's like, on average, what is the return on investment on direct mail?
For an experienced person, 5 times.
5 times. Okay. Can I just give you $1 billion? You come back and give me $3 billion?
No.
Like,
it doesn't work.
There's a law of diminishing returns, right? It's like,
it is.
So let's use Miami, for example. If I wanted to get let's say I wanted to get all the direct mail done in Miami, I would probably spend maybe $2 million, right? To get all of Miami. $2 million?
Whatever it is.
That's 2 postcards per house. So $2 million, right? City of Miami, right?
Okay.
$2 million. If I spent $20 million, would I get the same return? Spend 10 postcards per person? No. There's a law of diminishing returns, unfortunately. And so that is the biggest issue we see in this business is most marketing and I know this sounds too advanced, but once you start getting on the top level of this wholesaling game, let me tell you my experience of what we've done. For our market, right, the most money you can probably make by yourself is going to be maybe, I'm talking about perfect conditions, maybe $10 million in Port St. Lucie, right? Assignment fees, wholesaling. That's top end. You close everything. You fix and flip everything, right? 10 million in the city of Port St. Lucie, not Fort Pierce, Vero, Brevard, Okeechobee, Martin County, Palm Beach, right? For the city of Port St. Lucie, if you're a dog, 10 million. But the problem is that gets probably split up between 17,000 wholesalers, right?
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of split, and you're not even putting in the competition factor.
We're not. So that's if you're perfect, right?
That is, you're the only wholesaler in Port St. Lucie,
But here's the thing. So we get to that point where pretty much almost, I believe 40% of every wholesaling deal in that city goes through us, which doesn't seem like a lot. That's insane market share, by the way. Like that's insane market share.
But that's
like, think about that.
Years.
Can you imagine that 40% of every single car is one company? The most market share a car company has is like 8%, right? Ford in the United States is like 8%, right?
Yeah.
Tesla's like, I think 10%, right? But like 40% of something is insane. Crazy. The thing about it is it's not like, okay, well, what do we do? Let's say we make $4 million in Port St. Lucie. It's like, okay, well, how do I make this into 8? Well, it's kind of hard. It's like, can we double the marketing? It's very difficult to do that, right? But so that is the main issue most people have. So when someone tells me that this marketing channel is amazing, it's like, well, can I just pour 700,000? The problem is we have the money. It's like, can I pour this money in and get 3x? It's really hard. So the example of this is I like to look at like BlackRock. BlackRock's a big hedge fund and they've been investing in real estate like crazy, right? Theoretically, let's push some paper here and show what is the best return on investment of a rental property, of real estate investing. The best return on investment. Not 10, like it's not you buy a rental on the MLS and rent it out and make 10%, right? What's the best return on investment in real estate right now? No wholesaling, but like if you're like a hedge fund.
What you're talking about? Which class of real estate?
No, just like if you had $100,000, what would be the best return on investment for you for real estate, for a rental?
It just depends on what market you go into.
Let's say Florida.
Florida?
Not multifamily,
Florida's
not
tough.
mobile home, like type. I'll give you a hint. Creative finance.
If you do it right.
If you do it,
but that's the problem.
So if I take over a subject to, I put 10 grand, I'll probably make 10 grand a year. That's 100% return on investment, right?
Correct. Okay,
so
I get it. Return on
BlackRock's like, okay, well, we're making 10%. Well, let's just do subject twos. Here's $6 billion, Rick.
Yeah.
So, well, I can't find 10 million subject to deals to do. There's a lot of diminishing. And so unfortunately, BlackRock, they just got to buy 5,000 homes at once,
And that's what when the hedge funds got really popular 4 or 5 years ago, they were given big chunks of money, either from BlackRock, Wall Street. And they go, listen, here's 500 million, go out and buy single family homes. They can't do what you and me do as wholesalers because they've got a lot of pressure to move that money. So that was a sweet spot. That was a lot of fun because they were buying everything. And they had a kind of an avatar of what they were going to buy. Hey, if it's this and this type of neighborhood, it's a 3-2, it's 1,500 square feet. We're all in. It couldn't be more than 20 years old. But you know how that worked is they put it in there and a lot of them, they didn't make any money. Open Door is still an experiment. They're losing money left and right.
Like
and they're
hundreds
still
of millions a year.
I don't know. And now they're renting them out. And listen, once you rent them out, when you go to sell them, you're going to have to rehab these houses. And if you got 3,000 houses in a portfolio, each one needs 20, 30 grand. Like, I don't know, but that's how it is. So if someone goes, hey, if I reached out to one of you guys, go, listen, I'm going to give you $5 million. Can you go get like wholesale deals Can you get it dispersed in the next 45 days? You're going to overpay for everything because that's what happens when you do it. Us as wholesalers, we can't afford to do that. We have to make money today. So that's more of like the investment push. So we talked about earlier, if you think you're just going to like double your revenue, I'll just double my marketing cost. You don't understand business. And by the way, that's not just unique to wholesaling. It's in the insurance business, the car business.
Every business has that.
You have to have people to work with the customers, hear their problems, solve it, offer solutions, and actually get them to sign the paperwork. And if you don't have the systems and the processes set up, that's crazy. So we always talk about you, and we're talking about how you can expand it and dominate your market.
Restaurants are the same way. Think of the best pizza you've ever had in your life. Okay. Was it at a chain? Was it at Papa John's, or was it at a family owned, some Italian grandmother? It's been in her family for 17 years. They have the old recipe from Sicily. Yeah. And, the guy makes it with love and care, and he knows everyone at the that's the best pizza you're ever going to eat. Because the family has a recipe and they're really good, and that's what they do. Yeah. The problem is when you try to nationalize or like franchise out food outside of In-N-Out Burger, which is the best, outside of that, it's very difficult, right?
You know why they call it In-N-Out.
Yeah. But the problem is like the best steak places are very rarely franchises, right? Because the best restaurants, the quality control is so tight knit with the pizza places, right? Mm-hmm. The problem is when you try to make pizza like everything,
try to scale it.
The old Jersey Italian dude who makes the best pizza ever, he's been doing it for 20 years, right? He just feels what the ingredients should be, and then he just mixes it. It's the best thing ever, right?
Yeah.
The problem is when you franchise around the country, this guy in Jersey who makes the best pizza, I have to go also teach that same thing to the 18-year-old kid in Miami who just wants a job. He has to make the pizza the same quality as the one in Jersey. Yeah. That's how you make Papa John's Domino's. No offense to them. They're fine, but it never tastes the same, a national pizza chain, as, some family ran, like really good shop. And that's kind of the issue with wholesaling. When you're trying to go out here and nationalize it and go big on wholesaling, most people fail. Except I know the top 10 wholesalers in the entire country. Now, a lot of people don't know about them, but I do know most of them. The thing about what I've always found about them is they cracked that code, the diminishing returns code. Now, you might be like, okay, Zach, well, how do they crack it? There's two ways you crack it. Number one, you get really good at marketing. So you know how to deploy $20 million a month in marketing, which is extremely difficult. Mm-hmm. At that point, you have to not even be cold calling anymore. You just have to do TV, radio, like that. You have to do that thing, right? Now, the biggest one that we all know about is like Homevestors, right? TV, indirect mail, billboards, like that's how, like the amount of money Homevestors spends on marketing is insane. You have to admit, and we always make fun of Homevestors, how they market, but here's the problem. When you have that much marketing they have to spend easily 100 million, maybe even $1 billion a year in marketing, right? They spend a lot of money. They spend a lot of money in marketing.
They do, but the franchisees pay for it.
Well, not the billboards and the TV ads, right? So you got to think about it.
They do when it's all said and done. They have
overall.
So unfortunately, not to share like the inside secrets, but Homevestors is just a franchise for a We Buy Houses, like Wholesaler. And the challenge with that is I've watched so many people buy these franchises like, Rick, I'm just going to go straight to them and I'm going to get it done. Well, great. Listen, owning a franchise is just getting you a permanent job. There are some exceptions if you'll spend a tremendous amount of capital, $3 to $5 million. But you got to share 15 to 20% of the revenue.
Right. Homevestors spends, I was wrong, over $10 million annually on marketing.
But just so you know, the franchisees all share in that expense. So I believe the requirement last I heard was around $20K a month as the required contribution towards advertising.
So I'm not going to share this on the screen.
Yeah.
But it's if you want to get a low end franchise, it's going to be $100,000 to $400,000 initial investment.
Correct.
Now that's a full-time franchise is $155 to $461 just to get the foot in the door.
Yeah. And guys, keep in mind, you're always going to be paying royalties, and you are handcuffed with the type of marketing you do. And if they drop a corporate policy, you're stuck. I've watched at least a dozen people buy into these. I'm not knocking them. Like, they've got a good system, but you ain't going to get rich owning one of them. Like and you
There's
have to show up to
There's some
work.
good guys though.
No, they're good at it, but I wouldn't start out that way.
I'll tell you this though. How much are they spending on the investors?
And they're not the only franchise out there. There's other ones that duplicate wholesalers, but like, you're still going to have to spend your energy to market and meet with sellers. And some people have a system kind of set up, but like it's not much different than what Me and Zach teach you. It's just they have a system set up. And if you do not follow it and you do not honor the franchise code, they will take it away from you and they'll just sell it to somebody else.
So looking at the math here, Homevestors franchisees are spending at minimum $52 million a year. But each franchisee altogether is spending that much. And they're just doing $10 million on top. So $68 million Homevestor guys are doing in marketing. So just telling you, like, we make fun of the marketing, but it's like when you got to drop $10 million of like, what do you got to do, right? That's the problem. And so just to make this a little more clear, you could do that route, but the top wholesalers outside of Homevestors, right? They leverage one extra thing because they're not going to be dropping $10 million. You know, that's a lot of money to be dropping. What they do is they learn how to leverage people. And the very, very best wholesalers that I know in the market know how to leverage connections, people. And so this is the route that me and, we both did, right? We decided we can go out here and try to nationalize our wholesaling things and just go crazy. Or this is a crazy, crazy concept. And this is a concept no other wholesaler has done. So me and Rick are most insane for this. But why don't we teach wholesalers how to wholesale houses? And when they get deals, they just send us deals. And then those are deals that we don't have to market to.
Yeah. I like that formula a little bit better, but that's how we are. I don't think, listen, wholesaling is a very, very niche business we do. And it's really hard to do a franchise system setup. Homevestor is one of the rare exceptions, in my opinion. And there's other ones. There's actually very good ones out there to a point, but it kind of like, it feels weird. Like, why would I buy a franchise for such an entrepreneurial type of business? And some people are just set on it. I always think franchise, I think like Subway, like there's different levels to it. Like Lucas mentioned, like Steak and Shake's cheap. And I think the restaurant business is a nightmare. And if the recent episode the last 4 or 5 years didn't prove it to you, like they're very risky. And there's so much inflation pressures and stuff
I dropped
like
$5 million on it. I would drop $5 million on a couple Chick-fil-A's though.
Now, listen, here's the franchise. Here's the only franchise.
I buy that.
So like, you can't even, I don't think you can touch a McDonald's anymore. It's like,
they're expensive.
It's like $3 to $5 million. By the way, I remember when I was younger, I was $150,000 for a McDonald's franchise. I thought that was crazy, but I will tell you, the Chick-fil-A, awesome. Dude, give me a Trader Joe's. I would throw all my money into that. Because have you ever been in a Trader Joe's? The line out the door is unbelievable. And they have, you know what the key with Trader Joe's is? It's their product distribution, which makes them so valuable because they have such, you can't get Trader Joe products in any other type of grocery store for the most part. And that's why people, they just like it. So there's top tier franchises and then there's like middle and then there's kind of lower.
Yeah.
And I just wholesaling, listen, the system's great, but you're still going to have to do the work and I always tell you this, you're going to have to master marketing. Otherwise, you're going to have to let other people do it for you and you're just going to have to trust them.
Yeah.
And it's expensive.
Well, Chick-fil-A is the best because the guy that owns it's going to say hi to you every time.
I don't know. I'd still open it on Sunday.
Yeah, whatever. But guys, the very, very best wholesalers know how to master connections. And so what we've done is something that no one's really ever done before is we're going to give you a free wholesaling course and we're going to teach you how to wholesale for free. Then you're going to send me wholesale deals when you need help because I'm good at finding buyers. And I also have the best software for finding buyers. So you can I'll use my own software to find the buyers. I mean, I give it to you guys on X Leads, but you can go do that too. Boom. And then everyone started crying to me. He says, Zach, I don't want to give half the deal. That's ripping me off. I said, okay, well then go buy X Leads, software that we use to Dispo.
Yeah.
And then
figure it out.
You can go do it yourself. So like, I don't care, right? And so then like, well, why don't we make X leads and we can teach people for free, then they can buy X leads. That's a good business model too, I guess. And so that's kind of how we do it. And it's a very effective business model. Now, no one really does it outside me and Rick, because frankly, this is a lot of work to do.
7 days a week, baby.
Most people don't want to go make content about wholesaling when they have to run the whole entire wholesaling operations. And so we delegate that. We teach wholesaling for free, and then with basically the marketing coming in from that, right? But you guys never have to send us a JV deal. I make a lot of money, so I don't really need you sending me a deal is not going to make or break me. But me teaching how to wholesale real estate for free, still have to do that, unfortunately, because we're the only ones that have a free wholesaling course still to this day. Now, thing about it is the more people you know, the more JV deals you can get. Now, I started opening up our community aspect. It was just a course that we made it a community, and the amount of JVs being done from everyone is insane. I mean, I love there's people in our community that are making hundreds of thousands a month just joint venturing.
Yep.
I don't get a dime from that either, but
we're fine with it.
But guess what? I'm just hosting the party. You guys go hang out in the party. I'm the host. Okay. I make sure no one's doing anything crazy in there, right? We got some people say, oh, go buy my course. We kick them out of the party, but I'm hosting the party, which is fine. Thing about it is I don't get a dime from it, but the community aspect is the best. The reason is because I own the community, you and I, right? If I have a deal in San Diego, there'd be 100 people making over $100,000 a month that can help me out in San Diego.
That's your built-in Dispo.
It's my built-in
Talk about
Dispo.
scaling.
And so the coolest part about it is I don't need to go out here and do 5,000 deals in one market, right? I could just do a couple deals in, Louisiana, a couple deals in Illinois, a couple deals here and there, and then it adds up to thousands, right? That is the main point here. We can absolutely crush this. Okay. This is the point. We can dominate in the easy markets where you can go crush it, right? This is why we do it, right? Now, the thing about it is you also have to leverage your JV opportunities. This is one thing I don't think I've ever talked about, and people kind of see how I do it. It's not the way that I do the JVs. I never recommend anyone to do it, right? And we've had a lot of people on freewholesaling.com say, I'm going to make my own YouTube channel, talk about wholesaling. I'm like, well, how can you talk about wholesaling? You haven't even done $1 million in assignment fees. But they do their thing. And then they make the channel. And then after 4 months, they stop posting every day because it's very, very difficult to do. I'm not saying my life sucks. Trust me. This part's the easiest part. The wholesaling part is the hard part. But most people can't juggle whatever it is, right? And they just stop it. And they try to do the whole influx thing, but they don't even want to make a free course, and they start paying it because I'll be honest with you, when you start making a YouTube channel about wholesaling real estate, and there's this little thing in the back of your ear that says, you can make $1 million selling a course. It's not that you can, it's you if you put a course out there and you have a book a call and you tell everyone the world's going to end, you won't make $1 million. It's like most people can never say no to that $1 million. Unfortunately, that's why I'm not going to talk about how, people work in the world, but a lot of celebrities, right? They get told, well, we'll give you $1 million brand deal if you don't speak out about this thing. And they don't speak out about it because no one says no to the $1 million. Well, me and Rick have said no to tens of millions of dollars of coaching fees at this point. And I don't say anything, there's nothing bad about it, right? I got in a whole spat with somebody on the internet on Friday because this person told me that they were going to make me, that they can give me $500,000 a month.
$500,000
if they built a system for me, taught me how to make this course, and then I use their sales guys and they get commission off of it, and guaranteed $6 million a year from you and me, right?
Yeah.
And I'm a very nice guy, very prominent influencer, and I basically told the guy, I said, hey, no, I don't sell stuff. I appreciate it though, and I chilled out. Little did I know the guy basically extorted me and said, pretty much, if you don't do this, then I'm going to ruin your entire reputation.
Oh.
And the guy went crazy on me.
Yeah.
Because
I
did a bandit comment, and this guy was selling a school group for God knows how much per month.
Yeah.
And I just put
guerrilla marketing.
And I just put a comment, said, hey, well, my school group's free. And because the guy runs 10 ads a day on my personal channel, I'm like, I always put my school community, not because I'm trying to market it, because the guy sees it and says, I got to block him. And then I never see an ad from him ever again. Fun fact. If you never want to see an ad from somebody, in wholesaling, just comment my free wholesaling course. They will block you instantly.
Yep.
Well, this guy decided to screenshot. Look how slimy Zach is. He's a terrible guy. And I said, oh, that's the angle he's going at. Zach's slimy. He's terrible. I'm like, and then I show everyone like, well, I don't ever show this, but this guy basically extorted me, said, if you don't sell a coaching program, I'm going to ruin your reputation. And then the guy basically deleted everything and said, oh, I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah. You know, the challenge is people don't understand is what we do is it's not easy what we do. I mean, we bypass, I mean, for the longest time, we didn't make a dime doing this. Now, we always ran our wholesale.
Not one JV deal, nothing.
But I've always taken kind of the stoic approach, whereas like I'm in it for the marathon, just like I teach you wholesaling, and I apply it the same way how we do our wholesaling community is we could get paid millions in a snap of a finger. But I've watched a lot of other people over my 23 years. It's the same thing every time they go in, they do this great program and some of them are good. And then they just like, that's it. Like you never, like that was it. They took their money and then they're constantly digging out of the hole because if you just sell everything, people just after a while are like crap. So we just tried to do it like reverse engineered it. And listen, we're not the only people that actually ever come up with this theory. Some of the most influential people in the world right now have this mantra. It's not just us.
Well, I mean, one of my favorite ones was, I think Ryan Reynolds did that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just telling you what we're doing, right? So like Ryan Reynolds basically was a celebrity and he said, I'm going to just do the very boring company. And I think he sold it for like $300 million or something. It was crazy.
It was close to $1 billion.
It was crazy.
But it's
because he doesn't have to sell a coaching program, right?
We're in a society where everybody wants to like, you got to make money now.
McGregor did that. That's who you're thinking about, McGregor.
Yeah. But you got to make money now. And I'm just like, listen, like if you can hold out, whoever can hold their breath the longest is going to win because we were told when we initially did this, you're never going to make it. You'll never survive. Well, here I am, what, 4 or 5 years later? Like it's not even like we're thriving. And the thing is, we are the most consistent, hands down. Like nobody's ever going to outwork us.
I'll tell you a story. You already know about this. I had in 2019, 2019, started my YouTube channel. I was teaching people how to wholesale for free. A very, very, very prominent wholesaling influencer who shall not be named told me that we need to have a Zoom with you. And I said, oh my gosh, this is a massive influencer. Whoa. And I went on the Zoom all happy and excited. And this person proceeded to tell me, mafia style, sit down mafia style.
I remember this.
Oh yeah. If you don't stop saying anything bad about people selling courses, and if you don't start selling a course, I'm going to make sure you are blacklisted and you're never going to have a platform in wholesaling. No one is ever going to talk to you. Your views are going to go down and no one is ever going to hear your name ever again. So you need to go create a course right now. And I said, no. And he said, it's over for you, man.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. And this is a person, if I name, you will know exactly who it is. I have the recorded Zoom. I screen shared it.
Well, it's more than one person.
It's in a USB safe in my safe.
It's more than one person, just to be fair.
This person was only one.
No, I know.
But not multiple times I've heard that. And so don't do the free wholesaling part. You get shaken down a lot.
I like seriously, like threatening people, trying to force the old school way. The idea is at the end of the day, you guys make the choice. You vote with your time and your money, and we don't take it lightly. And we just think there's a better way to do this because a lot of the ways people teach holdings, there's still a community holding on to the old way. And there's good people that do it. Not everyone's bad, but like just because we don't do it the exact same way you do doesn't make us bad people. And like I don't understand. And like I had like, how old were you in 2019? I
was 19.
Yeah. I mean, 19-year-old to have like grown people saying, do this or I'm going to crush you. Well, you saw how that worked out. And listen, we embrace anybody. Like we are all about wholesaling. We definitely don't agree with what everybody does, but that's what makes people unique. And here's a warning. If everybody agrees on like how you do it, it just means people are lying within that because we are human beings that have differences. I've never met two wholesalers that do things identical. Have you? Like everyone's got a different, and that's the beauty of wholesaling is I only got into wholesaling for one reason, to get control of my time. And he was 3 when I started, and it was not an overnight success. It was a brutal crawl out of a hole because I was in financial debt. But remember, we talk about doing as far as speaking, and me and Zach's mantra is to match the two up, period, at the end of the story. How many other father-son duos do you see out there doing wholesale? Like, really? And there's some really cool people out there doing it. And I love it, and I want to promote it. But, like,
I already told you why.
I practice what I preach.
I tell you, you know why no one's there's a bunch of wholesalers that have kids that are way older than me, but they don't wholesale.
Why is that?
The truth about it, and I always get in trouble saying this, but everyone thinks I'm calling people out. I'm not calling anyone out. This is just the truth. There's not one father son like wholesaling do it. The reason for it is because the father doesn't really make any money wholesaling. They make money coaching, and if they were actually making millions of dollars wholesaling, I promise you, their kids would be wholesaling. But it's funny because all these kids do, like, I don't know, they're like managers at grocery stores or something like that, right? Like, why would you make 70 grand a month if your father is making $6 million a year? Why don't you just make $1 million off of him? It's because I'm not gonna get into it, but let me just tell you guys, leveraging JVs. That is how we do it.
So, guys, the bottom line is, just to sum this up, is you learn wholesaling by actually doing it.
We got a lot more to
like
talk about.
We can sit here and talk about it all day long, but, like, he learned it by doing it. I learned it by doing it. And everything we tell you is, like, you can take this education, but it's like, you got to get out that door and you got to start talking to people, connecting with them, and helping people solve problems. That's it. You can do this theory thing all day long. I hate it. I never survived in school doing it. I just immersed myself in wholesaling. And I'm just saying, by me taking action to wholesaling, he picked it up real easily because it was just the norm and it was extremely awkward. So just understand, you actually have to go out and do it. You can't, it's like reading a book on riding a bike, right? You got to go out there and do it. Period.
Exactly. So one thing I can tell everyone is you have to leverage your JVs though. Now you might be like, Zach, what is a leverage JV? Well, first and foremost, when I say leverage JVs, you need a JV with people that actually are doing stuff. Or so we all talk about how do you JV, right? You network with other people and do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to network with people or build relationships with people that will never be fruitful for you. You might be like, Zach, what are you talking about? Well, if I can only talk to really 10 people on the phone a day of new wholesalers,
Mm-hmm.
and I connect with them once a month and see how they're doing, am I going to connect with 10 people that think life's terrible? Oh, it's so hard. It's so difficult. Or am I going to do JVs and network with people I can do this. I'm doing work. I keep working. and they're positive.
Yeah.
Over time, you have a network of 300 positive people working hard, or 300 people that think the world sucks, wholesaling's tough.
Yeah.
It's kind of like watering a plant. If you network with people that are actually going to be rising up, now you're all powerful and well networked together versus the other way. So I will teach anybody regardless of anything. I don't care. Money, what you look like, where you live, anywhere, right? And I get a lot of flack, Zach. Why do you teach people outside the United States how to wholesale United States properties? I'm like, I don't care. Like anyone, if you can just go through the course, you have the ability to wholesale, right? And so the thing about it is you dominate wholesaling with friendship, not fighting. Now, this sounds like some Care Bear, My Little Pony type thing, but you do dominate wholesaling with friendships, not fighting. And so if you can connect and be friends with other wholesalers, you'll actually win. So it's a volume game. It's a volume of networking connections and a volume of your own marketing. And so it's a very, very long, slow burn over a long period of time. That's how the top wholesalers do it. Now, the one thing I can do is squeeze your time so you don't have 50 hours a day. Physically not possible to network with other people. So make sure you text them, you call, and you connect with what I call like power players. So it's obviously best to be connected with very powerful wholesalers that do deals and that have lots of leverage that you can use to help each other out. But the best ones to do are going to be young wholesalers, right? So I love talking to young broke wholesalers that actually want to work hard because they're like little rising stars. Once they get really big and you're networked with them well, boom, then you guys can work really, really well together.
Yep.
And so young broke wholesalers will turn into power players. It takes about a couple of years, I've always found. And about 5% of every new wholesaler is going to turn into someone that's really crushing it out here. And it's pretty easy to figure out who's going to crush it or not. Number one is consistency. So I love helping people out there who are very consistent, that listen to what I say and actually do what I say.
Yep.
And then from there, if you can connect with, have great relationships with them, you're going to do really, really well in this business. Now, my number one question I get from people is, well, Zach, how do I find people in a market? Let's say I live in New York City and I'm trying to find other wholesalers who are doing well in other markets. Well, the best part is if you go to freewholesaling.com, my free wholesaling course and community right here, there is a map feature. So if you go to map right here, we have over 33,000, I believe, people in the community right now. So if I live in New York and I'm trying to wholesale, let's say let's do Des Moines, Iowa, right? I can go here to Des Moines, Iowa, and boom. Now I got all these community members in Des Moines. I can go talk to Dunbury. I can go and talk to Jake, right? I can press chat and then DM Jake.
That's
That's how you connect with people all over the world. You see where it says map? Cool part is we have people all over the world, right? So look at all the wholesalers we got in Africa, right? So if you live in Africa, right? Look at all these other wholesalers in South Africa. It's awesome. Pretty much, we have a lot of countries in Africa, by the way. We got Tanzania, we got Uganda, Equatorial Guinea, Republic of the Congo. We got no one in the Republic of the Congo. Ivory Coast, Ghana. We actually have a ton of wholesalers out here in Nigeria. I think a lot of them are Nairobi. A lot of Nigeria too. And just all over the world, we got wholesalers, right? And it's really cool to get connected with them all over the world. We actually have a ton in Pakistan, in Kashmir, Islamabad. It's actually kind of funny. I got a ton everywhere across the entire world. That's the thing. All right. I mean, we got people in Eastern Russia, wholesaling and doing deals. And you're telling me that wholesaling's tough. Look, we have a wholesalers in Madagascar.
Love it.
And so you're telling me that wholesaling's tough for you? We literally have Papua New Guinea. Think about that. And you're complaining to me. Okay, we got Kyrgyzstanian wholesalers out here, and you're telling me that wholesaling is just too tough for you. Drives me nuts. And so you guys can crush it out here in wholesaling. I tell everyone here, you can absolutely destroy it in here. But all you have to do is just network with other people. We got people literally in Greenland, and you're telling me that wholesaling's too tough. And so you can network with everyone across the entire country and the entire world. Networking is so easy. It's right there. Also, we got the ZachDiscord.com community. Love the Discord. They're all awesome in there. And so what my advice for everyone is just to split your operations into wholesaling and JVs. So we split it into 3. We have JVs, virtual, and local wholesaling. Get rid of the virtual part, wholesaling operation, and a JV operation.
Mm-hmm.
So what I tell everyone to do is like 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., just focus on wholesaling, right?
Yep.
And then from 8 to 10 p.m. or 8 to 11, whatever time you go to bed, JV for a couple hours. Every night, there's like 15, 20 wholesalers that hop on the voice chat, and we just hang out in the lounge.
That's fun.
Guys, and if you can leverage this by having amazing cash buyers, which is the most valuable asset you can bring to the table on a JV connection, because everyone's like, who's got buyers? Who's got buyers? Who's got buyers? You're going to crush it. Okay? Absolutely crush it. So many people out here don't even know what they're doing though. And that's the problem. And you don't need to know everything. If you find someone who has buyers, you're going to be doing really well. So like if I'm new, I have a deal, I don't know what I'm doing and I don't know how to find a buyer, and you have buyers, boom, done. And then what I tell people to do too is, if a lot of people, well, I don't want to be a JV guy. Why should I learn networking? Well, you can offload your really bad deals to JV partners. So you don't want to be the boy that cries wolf with your partner, right? Sorry, to your cash buyer. What I mean by this is I see a lot of wholesalers that have bad deals and they give them to their best buyers. And the buyer's like, okay, well, half the deals that he sends me are good.
Yeah.
Then he's not going to look at you too seriously.
Nope.
But if you send your best buyers the best deals always, and they always buy, they know, oh, he sent me a deal, I'm going to buy it. I'm not even going to think about it, right? They still look at it, right? But the thing about it is, if you have bad deals, you're going to make $1, $2, $3 grand, and they're like in the bad areas, find a JV partner that has buyers in those areas. And you can offload bad deals to them and still make money. So the power of delegation is going to be most importantly in your wholesaling operations. If you can learn how to JV and create networks and then add volume, you're going to crush it. It's all about people. This business is all about people. Delegating is about people. JVs is about people. It's all about this. So it's about how many people you know, how many people know you, and the people working for you. It's all about people, right?
Yep. You can't do everything yourself. You're going to start out doing everything yourself, and you're like, wait a minute, you want me to switch it up? Yeah. Listen, you're going to grow till the day you die if you do this correctly. Otherwise, you're never going to get anywhere. So if you want to break free of all the constraints of all the average people around you, like wholesaling's the one way to do it. You're going to start out yourself, and then eventually you're going to get wildly uncomfortable because you're going to have to trust somebody else to do it. And they're going to make a ton of mistakes. It's like raising kids. It's the same thing. But you don't have a choice with kids. You're just stuck with them. You got a choice with wholesaling. So, understanding the process, it gets you excited about your wholesaling future.
That's it. And the one thing I could tell everyone about this is you don't need to go try to dominate the networking stuff right now. You don't need to be the top dog. Just talk to other wholesalers. And the best education, obviously, is freewholesaling.com, but the best part of the education is by talking to other successful people. People will spend 14 grand to be mentored by a person just to talk with them. That's cool. But what the really valuable part is you talk to the person, which is you and me, right? Us. Mm-hmm. But you can also talk to 50 people tonight that are making over 300 grand a year that learn from me.
Yep.
The coolest part, like you said, is everyone does a little different, right? So we got people watching this live stream that are easily pushing over $500,000 a year. Well, would it be cool if I could just talk to that person for an hour a day? And then next guy is another guy that's making $500,000 wholesaling, learning from me. Now they're all going to tell you the same thing, and you guys get mad. Oh, well, I learned from Zach. Why don't you just do what Zach does? And then he's like, but what's the real secret? I just do what Zach says. Yeah. But
that's
that
would be
education.
The course right
that's
there.
That's community too right there, right? And so in ZachDiscord.com, I have a program with my green check marks where basically if you've done over $250,000 in assignment fees and you send me the HUDs and I verify it with the title company, I will go give you a green check mark, which means you got to find people in the Discord with green check marks. Like, whoa, those people are legit.
Yeah.
And so when they give me opinion about something, I listen. And that's how you get rid of the people that aren't doing stuff. And it's amazing.
So think about how we started this. Everybody kind of listened to me and Zach. And we gave instructions pretty much 2 years straight, like showed you our deals, how we do everything. And now we have people coming up that have really like taken a hold of the free wholesaling community, and they've done an exceptional job, and now they're doing it. And so the value of what we've created is me and Zach can only teach so many people. And God knows between our course and our videos, there's plenty of information, but now you can take advice, you can take criticism, you can take structure, you can learn how to do JV deals with people that have actually walked the walk. So the bigger the community gets, the more we can do it, because we knew we had to lead the charge, but we got a lot of great people coming up under us. And it's really cool to watch over the last 4 years, the growth that's come underneath of us. So those people, the green check mark in the Discord, the people that have already fought the fight, they're great resources. It's not just me and Zach. We started this out, but the idea is the more people we can bring up and the more people we can show you that can be successful in wholesaling should excite you, invigorate you, and go, listen, if I work hard and apply myself just like they did, I can be in their exact same shoes. Everyone will tell you, I just did what they said and I made a sacrifice. A lot of people will not do it. They'll take bits and pieces of what they do, and then they just try to live their normal self. You're going to have to kill the old version of yourself to become the wholesaler you want to become. I promise you that statement is truer today than it ever has been, because your old personality is not going to make you that super successful person, because you found wholesaling because you want freedom of your time and financial freedom. You're going to have to trust the process. You're going to have to make a sacrifice. Remember, huge difference between becoming rich and looking rich. Everybody in America looks rich. Becoming rich is a hard journey. And if you can't make the sacrifice for it, you have to settle for looking rich, which becomes extremely taxing, is going to break your soul in the long run, and it sucks. I promise you. And I've been on both sides, so I'm not a hypocrite. I'm just telling you the truth.
That's it. So we got a big, I do want to announce something though, which is crazy. But tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time, I'm telling everyone this, okay? And you can verify this.
Yeah.
a massive shock is going to happen tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And a lot of people are like, oh, what is Zach doing? Is he going to sell something? Guys, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I'm just telling you Friday, 1 o'clock, Flip with Rick channel, I'm going to post a video. The title is going to be pretty rough. People are going to be very surprised by it. That's all I'm going to say. It will not be an understatement to tell you this. By far, I'm going to get more views on that video within the first hour than I have ever done in any video I've ever put out in the 6 years on YouTube. Do you agree?
I agree. I agree. It's coming.
That's it. It's going to get more views than any video I've ever done.
Just watch it. Like
watch it. That's all I can say. That's all I'm going to tell you. Now, that's all I'm going to tell you to do. It's going to be pretty crazy. Now, the one thing I will tell everyone to do, and if you do, I'm going to say this. Do me a favor. Okay. I want everyone just to hear me out what I'm about to say. I'm going to say only one thing. Go to Wholesaling.com and join. That's all I'm going to say. Big shock. And I don't say that very lightly. When I don't say shock and a surprise. And I've announced.
Sorry.
What? Oh, Lord. Yeah. So
when
I say that something big's going to happen and it's a big announcement, there's about 5 things I've done in my whole entire journey in real estate for this. Okay. Number 1 was when we made freewholesaling.com.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 was when we announced free and limited skip tracing, I believe. Number 3 was when we came out with X leads. And then I think 4 was the free and limited skip tracing on X leads. And this will be the 5th one.
Yeah.
So it's pretty crazy. And I've gone 4 for 4 of how good things I've done. So that's all I'm going to tell you to do is I'm not going to go live. I'm just going to post a video. I'm going to get 5,000 comments. Everyone's going to be crying to me. Everyone's going to say, oh my gosh, 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 oh my gosh. That's all I'm going to get. And then I'm going to get half of you fighting with each other and the other half being, oh my gosh, this is great. This is bad. I'm not going to say what this is. Okay. The one thing I will tell you is just be there. Here's the thing. If you're a hater, you're going to watch that video.
Oh, they do it. You're
a supporter, you're definitely going to watch this video. Love me or hate me, you're going to watch. That's all I'm going to tell you to do. So the one thing I will tell everyone to do is do not go crying to me. Okay. Don't be crying to me in my DMs after I post this. I do not have any pity for you. Okay. What are your thoughts on this? Because you know exactly what's rolling out.
I'm keeping my mouth shut.
Do you think it's gonna be shot? Do you think we're gonna get more views on that video than I've ever had?
I think I'm gonna be honest with you. I think a lot of people have taken for granted what we've done over the last 4 years. And I'm just going to say a statement right here. I don't know where the wholesaling community would be without us. You guys, how many millions of dollars do you think we've saved wholesalers over the last 4 or 5 years of like some of these ridiculous courses? Like, and don't get me wrong, if you want to spend the money, we're in a capitalistic society, but like wholesaling to me is just most of these courses, when you get into them, there's nothing behind it. And like some of the biggest influencer, so I've been around 23 years. There's one constant, all they do is rotate the entire time. And so I don't know where we'd be without like our freewholesaling.com. And listen, I can remember when they're hating on us, they're actually hating on you guys. They call the free people the low bottom feeders. Like, we embrace you guys. We love it. And so I got mixed feelings, but I understand.
Well, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, no, it's but like, think like how many, I probably bet you $20-30 million we've saved people, like in just course fees.
What kind of gets me upset when people say is, oh, you guys are the best ones that teach it for free, or you guys are the best because it's free.
No,
how about we are the best in general? But I got no ego about it, right? See, a lot of people have taken us for granted about how, oh, you're the best because you teach it for free. It's like, why don't you just say the information's the best? You know, where else is it better? Tell me. And that's all I can say. But the thing about it is, you're going to be there. You're going to see it tomorrow. It's going to be interesting. And so that's all I'm going to say. Oh boy.
No, I just think,
I will tell you one thing though. You're going to be really cool. I'll tell you what it's not going to be.
yeah.
We can make an announcement and say, Rick and Zach Ginn died 6 months ago, but this has all been AI. This is all an AI algorithm. We actually died 6 months ago. Here's our here's our certificate.
Stop it.
No, it's just been an AI VO3 Google the whole entire time for the past 3 months. ChatGPT's been making the scripts.
I mean, if you guys haven't noticed it, like there's been a big movement of people finally waking up and going, crap, maybe I should just give the best course out there and give it for free. Now, you guys get to determine what's best. Unfortunately, most of them kind of copy what we do, and then it's still a funnel towards a paid course. And like until people don't crack that code, I'm giving you the code right now. Like all you want, just give the damn thing away for free. And then if people want to pay you on top of it, then just take it. Like we don't even do that. But I'm just telling you, that people are so tired of having the wool pulled over their eyes. And here's my thing is, I fight for wholesalers. Number one, I think everybody should have access. With today's technology, it's ridiculous. But that's my opinion. And it stays here with me. Obviously, other people aren't going to agree with me that sell a course. But where was I going with this? I'm spinning off of my ADHD, which that's probably the course I really need to create. I'd still give it away for free. Is we just, I don't know, like just be authentic. Just show them what you do. Show them how you do it. And like one of the things you can never take away from me, I had him walk through the walk of being a wholesaler, period. And it's not easy inside of a family and do that. Any of you guys doing this like with your wife or your kids, it's a challenge. We all want our kids to be better, but we have to let them struggle and like go through the fight. And so I treat you guys the same way I did my son, because he opened my eyes up to a guy who has ADHD he just told me, he goes, just teach it the exact way you taught me it. And I was like, crap, I've been programmed my entire life to speak above everybody's head. And now I just come down here. I don't care. A lot of people say what we do is repetitious. It's like the same thing. Guys, how do you teach somebody a skill? Like if you want to make it super sexy and oversell them, complicate the crap out of it. Muddy up the water so they never know where they are. You know exactly where you are with us. That part will never change. I just think, honestly, we take a lot of stuff for granted in society.
And guess what? The best part about it is nobody in the comments has guessed exactly right what we're doing. That's the best part about tomorrow.
Oh, I know.
You know why? The one thing I always do when I surprise you is you never see it coming. No one saw free unlimited skip tracing coming. No one saw that coming.
Yep.
No one saw X leads coming. Nobody saw the ninja mode coming. No one saw anything. No one saw the free course coming. Nobody saw anything me and Rick have done coming, because you cannot copy our minds.
You can't do it.
And so what's going on tomorrow, you are not going to know. And no one has guessed it correctly. No one's going to. But I will tell you, the comments are going to go insane. So
I know, but if you guys like know us, we always do what's best for the wholesaling community. Like that's always our goal.
We're going to shut you off tomorrow, 1 p.m. Be there or be square.
Yeah.
And we're going to, that's all I'm going to say on this end. Okay.
Guys, take action, go out there, get deals, get them locked up. Like we can sit here and talk about this all day long, but like if I made him go through it and did it when he was a young man, like it's the same thing. It's in like, sometimes you have to have other people open up your eyes on how to teach, because honestly, as I got advanced as a wholesaler, I tried to teach like tippy top level stuff, and I still have it. And I still do that stuff for the people that need it. But for the most part, like, well, let's learn to add and subtract before we get into calculus. And this is the biggest problem in education in general, is we have to teach people how to survive and then to grow. And the easiest way to take the most money from people is make the waters really murky, complicate it. And we don't want to do that. So we want everyone to be successful and everyone to access, but I got to tell you, you're going to have to work. We don't even hide it from you. Like we just hit you in the mouth with it. And that's the problem with a lot of courses. Like, I just, sip a Mai Tai on the beach, flip 4 houses. It's a piece of cake. I think we've all woken up to that one by now.
That's it. So will be live. It will be a video. It will be dropped tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And it's going to be very interesting.
Oh boy.
That's all I could say. But it's going to be fun.
That'll
I can't
be
wait.
good.
I
That'll be
can't
good.
wait. And then the suspense. You think the suspense is killing you? Just wait. That's all I could say.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That'd be fun.
I'm gonna shut up about it. Dylan says I pop in these quite often. Post my number. Shout out to Dylan. He's out here doing deals.
Yeah.
So he says he got a deal. Hit me up in Michigan. There we go. Awesome. Iron J in the dialer working. I'd like to see it. Drill Investment says, is mass cold calling still a great lead gen model? I asked because I did a lot of success in 2021, but ended up going bust from trying to scale too quickly. So, dude, I don't even understand how you busted too quickly. But like, I mean, go back to what you did to make your first couple deals and then just keep doing that slowly. That's all I can tell you.
A lot of people think they can just hire, double their marketing budget. Guys, you have to do it responsibly, and you have to get feedback from your data, because everything you do in marketing is testing. Like, you guys heard of like split test, stuff like that. If you get into like the Russell Brunson, the Dan Kennedy stuff, we're trying not to complicate it, but like, you can't go from $5,000 to 10 grand marketing with the exact same system you had before. And so if you want to keep studying out, go from 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, and just learn the nuances, and the data will tell you if you're going in the right direction or not. And this is how I do direct mail with the people I work with, so they understand it. This is technically if you were going to do PPC or PPL, but like, understanding you're giving up complete control with that. With direct mail, you still obtain exactly where you want your list, the criteria. And remember, always be in control of your marketing, because if you're not, marketing is the lifeblood of all wholesalers. If you don't believe me, just go search the most successful ones. They're all great marketers. There's no exception. Nobody has ever outsourced themselves on their marketing and just killed it in wholesaling, because they will take your money in the long run, and eventually you will run out of money and you'll have to find something else to do. That's why I don't want you to do it. So if you learn it while you start, and you have that foundation, the fundamentals of wholesaling, which I've done nothing but stress for the last 5 years about fundamentals of wholesaling, because from 2013 to 2021, 22, that I'm going to tell you, all the people that were successful in wholesaling, more than 80% of them are gone now. Why? Because they didn't learn the fundamentals. They got really, really lucky in a rapidly appreciating market with crazy, like 100-year market cycles. And with the pandemic and the crazy inventory and the low rates, guys, that's like a once in a lifetime event. That's not wholesaling. And that's why when people say I'm struggling wholesaling, I did so good in 2017, 18, I go, dude, you weren't really wholesaling. You were just getting really lucky. So understand, find distressed properties, help owners solve problems. And the more problems you solve, the more money you make, but you're going to have to learn it. And if you think you're going to skip the process, you're not going to last in wholesaling. So check it out, freewholesaling.com.
There you go. So drama of a gifted kid going to my first seller appointment today. There we go.
Awesome.
Love to see that. Yeah, we're getting a lot of guesses. It's going to be so interesting. So
should have a prize for whoever guesses it.
No one's going to guess it right. Not one person. Not one person can, because they can't go in my brain and guess.
I didn't even guess it in my wildest dream. Talked about it, but
boy. Okay, stop. Okay, we're done. We're done. So
yeah, loose lips.
Yeah, yeah, you do.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see what's going on. Let's see. No, I get threatened every day. I don't really care about that. AI will replace us. Honestly, anxiety about tomorrow. I mean, I wouldn't have any. If you're making money wholesaling, you shouldn't have any anxiety. No. And guess what? You shouldn't let something that is outside of control affect your life.
No, you guys got to control what you control. We're going to control what we can control. And I'm going to just keep my mouth shut.
Cordell, trouble. If I was trying to sell you some Drying for Dollars app, would I really use some of my reputation of when I tell you something big's happening? Oh, we made a Drying for Dollars app. Is that revolutionary at all?
Nah, that's a given. Like
I've already announced AI cold calling for X leads.
Yeah.
By the way, it's something bigger. But
yeah. It's
when I say shocking, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah. Just Lock in where you are now.
Lock it. Let's see here.
Uh,
Let's see. I like it.
it's so funny how we've kind of coined phrase the word free in wholesaling, and it's like I just don't know why anybody would get like who gets upset with like free stuff. The problem with society is
We're just gonna be quiet about it.
no, I'm just talking
be
in
very
general.
quiet.
That has
Yeah.
nothing to do with that. I'm just
Certain forces have a machine for email outreach. Just use Gmail. I mean, it's literally just use Gmail for it. Let's get it here. Let's see. You guys are a machine to hand. Yeah. Got 2. That's pretty much it. Let's see here. Chili's. Oh my gosh.
I like the Wawa suggestion. That's God, they're all over Florida.
Oh
now.
yeah. Oh yeah.
But that's a massive investment on the we're putting in the tanks and stuff, but they get it.
I'm not old enough to be president, by the way. Let's see. Yeah, we're getting a lot of definitely opinions. This is always
Yeah, you might want to just end this stream now. So
no. I've seen if anyone can guess anything right, but no one can.
Yeah, it's okay.
Jose, any new strategies on the disposition side for finding buyers? So Jose, I'm very curious. What has been your strategies for finding buyers? Like, I mean, Here's the problem, Jose.
I need a little more.
A cash buyer is somebody who buys houses for cash, right? It's very difficult to invent a new way of finding someone that's looking to buy a house for cash. Because most of them,
God knows we've tried.
I mean, on the sell side for sellers, I can marketing, you can really go nuts. I guess the new strategy would be having AI bots text buyers. So we have that instead of xleads.com. So that's pretty dang cool. So xleads, you can have a bot that will answer any buyer texts and you can train it. I guess that's the newest one out here, but the old stuff is always still working.
What are we going to do when like they figure out AI to like run all these, like we've already seen videos with AI with people.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of easy to tell, but how are you going to authenticate people are like really there? Like it's even, remember that big push everyone does, this is live and it was recorded. And it was just like, to me, that's just as authentic as you can humanly possibly get. But AI is going to get to the point where like, I think people are going to have videos running like 24/7. You could oversaturate it, but I don't know, maybe you got to have like a little pendulum or like a live ticker showing you the date and the time.
I will tell you this though. You know about the Tesla Robotaxi?
Yes.
Tesla Robotaxi AI driving for dollars. I'm liking this.
Oh,
I'm liking this.
That's it.
I mean, they got the crazy.
Give Urban give him a cut on it right now.
I'm thinking about this right now. I'm starting to think about it. I'm like,
well, you go to Waymo, but I don't think Google's going to share the info.
The thing about it is, it's probably what they'll charge me. Let's say $1 per mile. If they drive really slow, I don't know. I'm trying to think here. You know what I've been thinking with AI.
Well, if you just send your own car out to do it.
I've been thinking a lot with AI. Is how remember we went to LA? We all those Waymos with the cameras everywhere.
There's a lot of them.
It's like Google Maps, right?
Yeah.
Is there any way I can just record my driving, just drive through a neighborhood, have it recorded, and then upload the video into AI, say which one of these were ugly?
It's coming. I promise
It's getting better. There's this new Google VO. I don't think you've seen it.
Google what?
VO, VEO3. They're making videos now that most people can't tell if they're real or not. Insane stuff. So we're definitely
we're gonna have to find something to differentiate.
That's a great idea.
Listen, people
I
are
did not
lazy.
think about that till this guy put this comment. That's
good.
Genius.
Dude. Make sure he gets his commission.
Man, I everybody talking. No, those Waymos were insane. They're just driving, no one in them, just up and down the streets.
I wonder how many billions they got tied up in those cars. Those aren't cheap cars.
Could xleads buy a Waymo and train it to drive for dollars?
So I've actually inquired about buying a car like that.
You did?
Well,
it's like $40,000 to rig it. If we rigged up a Waymo.
Listen, you sit in the Tesla, you still got to sit in the driver's seat. I just want to sit in the passenger seat. I think it's so cool.
If we bought like a Porsche Macan, and then we spent a Toyota Highlander,
something that fits in,
a CRV, Honda CRV. We equip it with the Waymo, Okay.
It's got to have like
maybe 50 grand. We're 100 grand in altogether.
Yeah.
Do you think that $100,000 investment,
But you
and we train it to drive for dollars for us?
But you got to get special permission from, I think, the state and the federal government to do it. I don't know if they're going to let you do one car.
Oh, we'll have a fleet. It'll be a fleet.
I'm not going broke on those cars.
But they'll have we'll install one of our live stream cameras, and it's going to live stream it to AI, and then it'll say, "Stop! This is an ugly house." It records it, and while we're sleeping, we can do driving for dollars.
And then if the owner comes out and talks to him, they'll have somebody talk to him on a video.
AI
screen.
voice.
Yeah, there you go.
My AI voice.
Or they connect you live. Go, hey, are you the owner of what the 123 USA Street?
Everyone thinks that's a joke, but it's happening.
We'll
get it. All right, guys. So tomorrow, 1 p.m. Friday.
It's funny.
Going to get very interesting. So my biggest announcement I've done, and it's going to be insane. So guys, I appreciate all the love and support. Thank you so much. We will see you. I won't be
Namaste.
Here. So
right?
1 o'clock, video's already set up. See you soon.
See you guys.